So good morning, my beautiful loves, and today I'm going to explain something about the tarot. And this is by experience, like usually if you are interested on tarot, right? You like tarot, or you like to listen to, tarot readings, that. It's something very interesting. You're always going to find books which are amazing as a guidance, as a guideline. Like, for example, let's say, I don't know, this one is a good one if you're starting. Like, when starting, a book would come great, but you need to have in consideration that the books is just like a guideline, And then from there, tarot really speaks through intuition, imagination, and, the knowledge you have. So what happens with tarot? The very first tarot that came out was the Marcella tarot, which is the Spanish one. And then we have another classic, Rider White, Rider Smith, I think is how you call the other one. And also a very classic one is the what is the name? I forgot, but that is not the tarot. That is cartomancy, which is different. Lenormand is cartomancy. It's different than just tarot. What happened with tarot is these come from thousands and thousands and thousands of years of knowledge. So, let's say on history, ancient times, one of the biggest libraries was the library that Cleopatra had on Alexandria, which Alexandria was Greek Egypt. If you know about story, you would know why, and if not, well, you can find out, like learn history about it. I love those times of history. But let's say they used to not use books, but instead scripts, right? So we're like rolls of scripts of a paper instead of books that we have nowadays. So it was very hard to transport information, especially that the tarot collects hidden information, hermetic information that not everyone should have, or not everyone can understand at all. It's for like more awakened people, right? So what happened with tarot is that it's full of symbolisms, okay? So it's full of symbolisms. If I ask you how many symbols do you know, many people would say, well, not that many. You do. If you see a heart on a notebook, that's a symbolism. If you see like the dollar signs or the peso sign, it's a symbolism. The euros sign is a symbolism. The Louis Vuitton name is a symbolism. And every symbol contains deeper information and contains energy, certain amount of energy. What tarot does have, like I said, is symbolisms that come from thousands and thousands of years, right? That are here. So the thing is, on those times, it was very hard to transport hidden information. Like you would is like. So on those times, in order for people to not know what the information was, they would do a symbol, right? So they would transport the scripts with symbols representing certain information that was obviously there, but for the ones without the knowledge would be, it's a circle, right? But for the ones who had the deeper knowledge, the deeper knowing, would understand what really that circle means, So they started to do, comes in certain times, people who had deeper knowledge was killed, was born alive, was, many different things, was killed. So they needed to hide the information somehow, somewhere. so they could transport the information, so the ones who would not give the right use to that information, or the ones who should not know the information, would not know through the symbols, because like I said, you can see a circle and be like, oh, what a beautiful circle, or a balance and be like, oh, look, it's a balance, but for the ones who know, is more than a balance symbol. It means nowadays on the justice or on the court, you're going to see the balance sign, also the health sign, this, that. Now is many symbols known, but on ancient times many were hidden with deeper information on it. And then Tarot also do a conjunction of all this information with astrology. So the thing is, because hidden information, deeper knowledge, hermetism, regular people in those times, school were not something that people would have, so would be a lot of ignorance, and sadly ignorance is a symbol of innocence, but innocence is ignorance also, so a lot of people will be afraid of the unknown, and because they would not be able to understand the unknown, they'll be afraid, and that's why they would kill. Like, I don't like you knowing what I don't know, or why this is going to happen to me. So they would call them witches, magicians, this, that, and would kill them, that, especially on women. Women was very, very not allowed to study, right? And was many women who wanted to know, many women who loved information, just like I do. So they will be called witches, and they will be born. Now we have the gypsy people, who gypsies are a tremendous history of them. They started from Egypt, India. They were moving, or they were bringing people from, it's kind of like the abandoned people. They start to get it together from different places, right? And it came this culture, which is the gypsy culture, which they are the first ones who start to use tarot as a divination tool, right? They're the ones who bring tarot as divination. What happened is, because this is hidden information, okay? This is hidden information from many different places, with a deeper knowledge about it, with deeper, deeper meaning behind it, right? And the gypsies on that on certain time was illegal for gypsies to read the fortune. So what they did is they started to put it on cards, and this is an amazing idea, because for the ones who didn't knew, the police would come and be like, what are you doing? And they'll be like, I'm just playing cards, I'm having fun, I'm having like a poker time. So they came with this idea in order to bring this hidden information, to travel with this hidden information, which is an amazing idea. Like, and the most beautiful thing is that someone can steal the tarot. The thing is, all this information, all this hidden information is here. So they're stealing this, but still they could use it for playing, but not really understand what is behind it, not really understand the deeper meaning. So it's amazing how, like I said, if someone can steal the tarot, still all this is here. So they will steal the tarot, but not the knowledge about it. For those who don't have the knowledge, would not understand it, would not be able to use it, would not be able to, to see the actual value of the tarot, right? So, and another beautiful thing about tarot is that tarot does have a life. You would say you're out of your mind. How this, set of cards is going to have a life. How is going to have life? It does. This does have life. Why? Because this is an extreme strength energy, put everything together, like from different places. Each card holds such a strong energy on it that when you put everything together, this is another, is the amount of energy of like the strength of another life. So these have such a strong energy that is like alive. So also remember, everything is energy. So everything holds energy. A book holds energy. This holds energy. We humans are energy. And this one holds such a strong energy. So this, what tarot is? What is tarot? Tarot, it first of all, is a very easy way to transportate very deep information. Each card holds such a big amount of information on it, like all the symbolisms on it. If you,
it's burbuja.
Oh, it's burbuja. Like, and you need to get it to know tarot, but it holds a lot of symbolism. A lot of symbolism. Each card holds an encyclopedia, like a big book on it, but only the ones with the knowledge can read it. If you see it, oh, it's a guy, they're standing, and you cannot see more than that. But for the ones who know, we find a whole entire world on each card, a whole entire world. And then, not only that, like, it's such a big amount of information.
Next, bonbon.
Bonbon. So that's what tarot is. Now, when you go to a tarot reading, when you go to someone to read you the cards, what happened is magic. Because I have such a big levels of information, have such a strong energy, very strong energy each card. When you go to a tarot reading, here it happens something very magical, extremely magical. So you go to the tarot reader, and here is a connection between the person who is coming to the tarot reader, the tarot reader, and the tarot. And the person who is coming with the tarot reader, they need to open up themselves. When we do tarot, there's people who is so hard to read, and that's because they're closed off. They don't want to, they're not trusting, either they're very close off, many different things. But the easy people to read is people who is more awakened, who is more open to it, right? Still, it doesn't matter how close off or how ignorant someone is, you can still read the tarot to the person. It's just that they don't allow the energy to completely flow between the tarot reader, them, and the tarot, right? So it may be like a bit harder. Still, we're able to with not much problem, right? It's annoying for us tarot readers, because we need to put the energy they are not putting into the tarot reading, So it's more annoying because you need to waste more energy to do the job they don't want to do when they come to the tarot reading. Still, like I said, with no problem. There is no freaking problem. It's just that maybe more exhausting because we needed to do the work they don't want to do, or they are like, it's like resistance. They're pouring resistance, and you need to like pull the energy as a tarot reader. I don't know if that makes sense. But that, right? So tarot divination is not the first purpose of a tarot. It's not really the principal meaning of it. have way more behind it. But Tarot is such an hermetic tool that has so many different purposes, so many different uses. This is like a multi-uses thing here. So Tarot, you can use it for many different things. Like I said, this is like each card is like an encyclopedia, or like a very big book on each card of information first. So very easy way to travel with information. Second, this can be used for magical stuff like rituals. Gosh, Tarot is amazing for that. And also for divination and so many other different stuff. Now, when it comes to divination, Tarot is more a giving advice than anything else. Yes, it predicts too, you know. But if you want to predict with it, you can predict with it. But also like a prediction, but also manifesting a reality, you know. So for example, well, I'm not going to explain you here how to for example, open another reality for you, you know. That's long, that could be another video, but you can open realities, you know, parallel realities that you want from where you are right now. So Tarot can be used for that too, you know. Have so many different uses. You can stalk people with the Tarot on a reality that you want to stalk them, if that's what you want. You can open other realities for people or for yourself. You can predict with it. You can give advice with it. You can use this as information, like a humongous library. It will be a library more than a book, you know. Have many different uses. So I wanted to do this video because, you know, it's the Tarot have win such a fame that is only used for, you know, for divination, when it's way more than that, way more than that. This is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years of information and of knowledge, and is way more than that, way more than that. It holds astrology, which is universal wisdom. It holds different religions wisdom. It holds a lot. It holds a lot. And like I said, for the ones who don't know, they cannot use it. But, you know, I just wanted to do this video, like I said, so people can see Tarot from a different perspective, and not only as imagining a woman with a, you know, something, you know, diamond on, who is going to tell you when you're going to die or how you're going to die, or if Jose is interested on you, you know. Is way more than that, way more than that. That's a very you know, very what is the word, very mundane use for Tarot. Very mundane, but still it does that work, you know. It does that job too. That's how versatile Tarot is. Still does the mundane work too, but it's way more than that. So yeah, I hope this is something interesting for you, that you like it, that, you know, this was open another perspective towards Tarot, and it was helpful. So yeah, like always, be good, and if you're going to be bad, invite me. Bye bye.